We're all watching this AI revolution unfold, right? But behind every incredible image, every mind-blowing chatbot, there's a hidden cost that's growing like crazy: power. And one legendary investor thinks that without a radical trillion-dollar bet on nuclear energy, this whole revolution could just stop. So let's break down this incredible high-stakes energy gamble.
Okay, so first things first, we've got to wrap our heads around just how massive this problem is. The AI boom isn't just hungry for data. It has this voracious, almost bottomless appetite for electricity. And that hunger is growing faster and faster every single day.
And listen, this quote, what's so wild about it is who it's coming from. This is Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, the company making the chips that are the engine of this whole thing. When the guy selling the shovels in a gold rush tells you the real problem is there's no water, yeah, you listen up. So what does this hunger actually look like in numbers? Well, projections show U.S. electricity demand is going to rise 2.6% every single year through 2030. Now, I know that number might not sound all that scary on its own, right? But hold on, because when you put it into perspective, you start to see just how alarming this really is. And this chart just lays it all out. For the last 20 years, you can see that energy demand growth was pretty flat, totally predictable. But now, look at that projection for the next 6 years. Whoa, that spike? That's almost all new data centers, creating this huge acceleration that our power grid was never, ever built to handle. And look, this isn't something that might happen down the road. It's happening right now. The biggest names in the game, Meta, Microsoft, Alphabet, they're already running into power limits. And for you and me, well, venture capitalist Chamath Palihapitiya is throwing out a pretty scary warning. Our electricity bills could literally double in just 5 years. So with this huge power crisis on the horizon, a name you might recognize is sounding the alarm. Michael Burry, the guy made famous by The Big Short, is making another one of his huge calls. But this time, he's not betting against the housing market. He's betting on a solution. I mean, Burry is the guy who famously sees disasters coming when no one else does. His bet against the housing market in 2008 made him a legend. So you better believe that when he stakes his reputation on a new prediction, the worlds of finance and tech pay very close attention. And the solution he's putting on the table, wow, it is just as massive as the problem itself. He's talking about a $1 trillion federal investment. Let that sink in for a second. That's a number he thinks is the absolute minimum to secure America's energy future, and with it, its place as the world's tech leader. So what in the world does a $1 trillion plan even look like? Well, it boils down to two main things. Step 1, roll out fleets of small, modern nuclear reactors all across the country, and do it fast. Step 2, and this is just as important, is to build a brand new national power grid at the same time, one that's hardened, tough enough to handle everything from crazy weather to cyber attacks. But here's the key for Burry. This isn't just about powering our gadgets or the next cool app. He's framing this as what he calls a strategic imperative. For him, this is about national security. He believes America's power in the world is directly tied to its ability to generate massive, reliable energy. So let's dig into his why. What's his reasoning here? Well, it really comes down to 3 big things. First, it's about making sure we have enough power to keep up with competitors like China. Second, it's about guaranteeing our national security for the long haul. And third, and this is a wild one, he argues that having all this cheap, abundant energy is actually the key to eventually getting the national debt under control. Okay, so a $1 trillion plan to rebuild our entire energy system sounds pretty epic, right? But as you've probably already guessed, there is one giant, massive roadblock standing in the way of this, or really any big energy project. And it's not just Burry who's worried about this. Daniel Newman, the CEO of the Futurum Group, he doesn't mince words at all. He's basically saying, hey, the biggest thing holding back our AI dreams isn't the tech. It's the red tape. It's how slow we are to actually get things approved and built.
And this is such a key point. You hear a lot of talk, is AI another tech bubble? Newman saying, nope, not a bubble, it's a bottleneck. The demand is absolutely real. The problem? We physically can't build the power plants fast enough under the current system to keep up with it.
But of course, Burry's big, government-led nuclear plan, it's not the only game in town. There's another tech titan out there with a totally different idea for how we should power the future. And this sets up a huge, fascinating debate. And this really boils it all down, doesn't it? On one side, you've got Michael Burry arguing for nuclear power as a matter of national security and competition. And on the other side, you have Elon Musk, who says, nope, solar is going to run the world. So Musk's whole argument is basically about technology and the market just doing their thing. He sees the cost of solar panels dropping and their efficiency getting better and better as this unstoppable wave. In his mind, it's not about some grand government plan. Solar will just become the smartest, cheapest, most logical choice for powering everything.
So as we start to pull all this together, it's pretty clear this whole thing is way bigger than just powering a few data centers. This is a fundamental debate about the future of our energy and really the future of our entire economy. So here it is, the whole debate in a nutshell. You've got Burry's nuclear plan, which is all about geopolitics and national security. And you've got Musk's solar vision, which is all about technology scaling up and pure economics. Two totally different ways of looking at the same critical problem. You know, at the end of the day, whether we go nuclear or we go solar, maybe that's not even the most important question. The real challenge here, the real debate, is about whether we have the political will to build anything big anymore, the fundamental infrastructure that's going to power not just AI, but all of America's growth for the next 100 years. Which leaves us with this one massive question. The AI-powered future isn't some far-off dream anymore. It's here, and it's coming at us faster than anyone thought. But as we race ahead, do we actually have the power, literally, to keep the lights on?